I turned brain rot into language learning, and I'm going to be fluent in Spanish in 9 months. This is how I'm replacing brain rot with language learning to learn a new language every single year, becoming fluent every single year. When I say brain rot, what I'm really talking about is cheap dopamine. When we're just sitting there, we're getting a little bit bored and we just want to feel a little bit better. We just want to not be bored. A lot of the time we're pulling out our phone, we're going to social media, we're going to TikTok, maybe we're playing video games, maybe we're watching something. This is our cheap dopamine. This is what I call the brain rot. What I'm doing is I'm replacing this with learning language. Every time I have that urge for brain rot, that urge for cheap dopamine, I'm pulling out my phone and I'm going straight to language learning. In particular, I'm going for comprehensible input. The way I'm going about learning the new language is through something called comprehensible input. This is a way of becoming fluent. There are many different ways, there are many different methods. This one very much appeals to me. The way it works is that you'll consume some sort of video content. It's going to have visual cues, so you're going to be able to understand the video. It's probably going to be quite slowed down, quite dumbed down to your level, and you're going to basically be watching Spanish YouTube videos, something like that, that you can understand, that you can actually comprehend, but there's no subtitles, there's no translation. And then over time, as you put more and more hours into it, you can level up a bit. You can do something that's maybe slightly faster, slightly less audio cues, and then you're going to progress up and up and up. And if you spend around 1,000 hours on this, you're basically going to be fluent at Spanish. And this is the way we probably learned our first ever language, because you're actually learning through input from other people, not from translating from other languages, memorizing vocabulary lists, things like that. The other great thing about this is it's super easy. You're just watching YouTube videos. It's actually quite fun, which makes it a really good brain rot replacement. It's not as if I'm going from scrolling TikTok to memorizing vocab lists and understanding conjugation and all of these difficult, complicated concepts. It's literally like going from scrolling TikTok to watching YouTube videos. Now, sure, they're not going to be the most entertaining, the most fun thing in the world, but they're not bad, and you're learning a new language, right? If you could say, in a year's time, if you put 1,000 hours into watching YouTube, you'll be fluent in a new language. I'm taking that every day of the week. And that's basically all it is. It's a very easy way for me to substitute going from wanting to scroll to just learning a language. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty easy. I'm not really doing much. I'm just actively watching a video, and I'm going to learn a language at the end of it. One of the big beauties of this, and why it's so great to get away from the online entertainment, from the cheap, quick dopamine, is that when you consume this stuff, you're receiving a lot of dopamine, you're training your brain to want to do more of it. It's got that good feeling before, it knows it can just go back to that and get that feeling again. Well, if you've cut out all of that, and now you're getting your good feeling from learning a new language, you're now training your brain to want to learn, to want to become better. Rather than training your brain to want to do something quick and impulsive, you're training your brain to want to learn. And that is absolutely massive. If I've rewired my brain to be thinking, I really want to be learning Spanish right now, versus I really want to be scrolling TikTok right now, my brain is just wired in a way that it wants to grow, wants to be better, it wants to progress towards a goal. Pretty damn great thing to have, and it's not difficult. It's not a hard thing to do. So how am I using this? How often am I consuming this? Am I doing big blocks at a time? Am I doing short periods? How does it go? Well, first of all, if I ever have that urge, okay, let's say it is first thing in the morning, maybe you've had breakfast, maybe you're sitting on the toilet, okay? A lot of the time we want to pull out our phone and start scrolling some TikTok or scrolling some social media. That's a great time to just watch a little comprehensible input video. Perfect time for it, okay? If you're a little bit lethargic, you want a break, you want to be scrolling, comprehensible input, perfect. If it's in the afternoon and you would be watching TV, boom, comprehensible input. That's a few hours in the day right there, just from replacing the brain rot, just replacing the low effort, low return activities, just with something that is not super high effort, but quite a high return. The other thing I do to get more hours in than I would have otherwise is stacking tasks. I'm really not someone who's going to set aside time just to do this, but if I'm doing something like an hour of zone 2 on the bike, which I'm trying to do most days, I don't really want to just sit there and ride a bike for 1 hour. I also don't want to really just sit there and watch Spanish videos for 1 hour. However, if I can ride the bike for an hour and watch the Spanish videos for an hour at the same time, that now becomes a pretty damn good use of my time. So being able to stack tasks, being able to stack things where I can actually have my attention on the Spanish videos, on the comprehensible input, and I can be doing something else productive at the same time, that's when it becomes a great time to use it. That's why I love the stationary bike, because I don't have to worry about traffic or the roads or anything. I can just sit there on the stationary bike, get my time in on the zone 2, so I'm improving my aerobic base for running better marathons. But at the same time, I can also be learning Spanish. I can also be doing that. And that becomes a really good use of your time. From two things that maybe by themselves aren't the greatest return on your time, to combined, actually a really damn good way of using your time. I'm always trying to find ways that I can just add it in. Rather than being like, okay, I need to allocate a chunk of my day for learning Spanish, I just find ways of weaving it in to my current life, my current structure, my current routines. Pretty easy thing to do. Now, why would I learn a language? What's the point of learning a language? Why is this a good thing to do? Why am I personally doing it? The way I see learning a language, particularly a useful, important language that a lot of people actually speak, is you just unlock more of the world. For me, I only speak English right now. If I can speak Spanish, I've now unlocked the entirety of South America, multiple countries in Europe, a lot of people that I can now communicate with, that I can now interact with, a lot of places that I can go, that I can live, where I actually understand the language. That's just unlocked a huge amount of the world for me, a massive amount of the world. And all I've done is replaced a cheap, easy dopamine activity with another cheap, easy dopamine activity that's unlocking a huge amount of the world. It's a pretty easy trade for me, a pretty easy thing to do, but learning these languages is going to unlock more of the world for you. That's why I think it's a great substitute for the online entertainment, for the brain rot, because it can unlock so much for you. There's so much potential that comes when you can communicate with more people, where more places become viable to live. I think it's just unlocking the world. That's why it's going to be a big project that I'm going to focus on until next year, and then maybe I'm going to learn more languages. We'll see. I am going to start a series on this YouTube channel where I document the journey through becoming fluent in Spanish. I think it'll be cool for you guys to see how it's not like I'm taking chunks out of my day here. I'm just incorporating it into my current habits, my current routines, and just replacing the scrolling with the language learning, seeing how quickly I can learn a new language. I think it'll be interesting to see. If you guys are interested in understanding how you can remove online entertainment from your life so you can fill that time with more meaningful and purposeful activities, then I've created a whole course on how you can remove online entertainment without requiring any willpower whatsoever. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description below. If you like the video, that's what the like button's for. Subscribe to the channel. There's probably a video somewhere around here, so I will see you in one of those.